Hey.
From another mother, big homie Wayne, what's going on? And thank y'all for joining us today on What the F Happened This Week. Big homie Wayne, how you doing, man?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Yeah, forgive me, man. I'm just trying to brush up a little bit more, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. We had a good week of football. Yes, everything is lovely, man. Everything was cool. As you can see, my Saints won tremendously over the Cowboys. Okay, you know what I mean? That was a win I wasn't even expecting. A score I wasn't even expecting. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm quite ecstatic about that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you, man. That was a hell of a win. We're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk about the Chargers versus the Panthers and what's going on with Bryce Young. That's where we're starting off today. We're gonna talk about the Jags versus the Browns and seeing what the hell's going on with Trevor Lawrence and how Deshaun Watson bounced back. We're gonna talk about the Chiefs versus the Bengals, which was a really dope game. I liked it. Saints versus Cowboys.
You said a bounce back. You said a bounce back. I don't know about a bounce back.
I mean, Watson did bounce back because he was extremely horrible. You know, we got about 7,000.
That nigga said extremely horrible.
Extremely horrible. We got 7,000 views on that TikTok video of me cussing him out, and people in the comments, the Houston Texans fans, is like, "Thank you so much. We appreciate you. You guys are great. I love the Browns. I'll always be a Browns fan because you traded all those picks." Man, forget y'all. Y'all suck. I want to say that to each and every one of y'all. Y'all some haters, man. Y'all some straight haters. Also, we're going to talk about the Bears and how Caleb Williams is struggling a little bit. But Rita from Rita's F'd Up Stats is not joining us yet, but we'll be on soon. Hopefully, we'll get her on. She has other obligations. But me and the big homie Wayne, we're going to hold it down. So let's go ahead and start off with the Chargers versus the Panthers. So as predicted, the Chargers, they destroyed the Panthers. A lot of people already knew that. We all knew that was about to happen. 28-3. Obviously, you know, Chargers got a better quarterback. They have a better defense. They just have a better team. But today, head coach Dave Canales, which is known as being a quarterback whisperer, decided to go ahead and bench Bryce Young. If you don't know, Bryce Young was the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago. And Panthers, they paid a lot in draft capital and even giving away one of their best wide receivers, DJ Moore, to the Bears to be able to move up to the number 1 spot to draft the savior, supposedly, Bryce Young. Since Bryce Young has started, he has a 59.3% completion rate, 11 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in his career. So I asked the big homie Wayne, do you think it was the right move for the Panthers to go ahead and bench Bryce Young after 2 games this year?
No, absolutely not. Give the kid a shot, man. It's been 2 games. Yeah, his numbers aren't looking that great. Yeah, he's not looking good. But no, give this kid a chance. And I don't like how they're giving up on him so easily, but you kind of see like the damn. I just watched that backflip again that the Chargers did in the first half. That was horrible. Dude did a backflip in end zone. I'm sorry, the front flip in end zone. Excuse me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But no, give the kid a shot though. Don't bench him just yet. You know, it's the second game. Don't embarrass him. What are you trying to do? Like, what do you think you're gonna do to this young guy who's messing up, and you're gonna bench him and embarrass him in front of the whole NFL, in front of everyone? That's not right. That's not fair. You shouldn't do that to him. Give him as many shots as it take. I think we said Andy Dalton was the backup, right?
Yeah, 36-year-old.
What is he gonna do? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Like, I mean, you said, I know we spoke about this before. You say he may do a little bit more, but here's what I wanted to go to. You say, you know, they gave up a lot of draft capital. They gave up a lot of, you know, picks and this and that. That's what it's all for. That's what it's all about. You have all that stuff so you can, I guess, kind of use it when you need to use it. It's like your ace in the hole. You know what I mean? They did it because they thought that Young would be decent or good enough for the team. Everybody kept saying, savior, savior, savior. You're going to put all your money behind this savior. You don't know if that person's going to be a savior or not. You're just hoping that he is, especially when you put so much money, time, and effort behind him. Now, here's my thing about that, though. I was watching, I got this from, he made a very good point. Daniel Tosh. You remember him from Tosh.0? He has a YouTube show right now out on, and it's called Tosh Show. He made a good a point last week. Everybody's always talking about draft pick this, draft pick that. You're just guessing. If you think of all the QBs that have ever come in the league, they've come in behind someone else. They've been like a third draft pick. They've been somebody completely out of the radar that you never fully putting your stacks under. You never, you may have like Michael Vicks, like even Favre. Didn't Favre come in? Like, wasn't Favre on the Falcons for like
I think he's on the
Saints. I think he was on the Falcons for like a brief second. You know what I mean? Before he even
3 years. 2-3 years.
Yeah. Did he play?
A little bit, but he wasn't.
Yeah. But see, that's what I mean. And that's what I mean. It's like Brady, like he was a backup to who? Steve?
Drew Bledsoe.
Okay. There you go. Get my white people mixed up. Excuse me. So so forgive me. We'll talk about that too later. We're gonna get into that as well. But yeah, I mean, but all these people that you're putting all, like, it's people's job in the NFL to be like, he's the next big guy. He's the next Brock Lesnar. He's the next big thing. He's going to be the one to put all your chips behind. And they're not. It's always the person that's like right behind them. So it may not necessarily be Shedeur Sanders, but it may be the dude that you don't see over here, not, just chilling, playing, and not, giving it his all. But for it to be your job to pick out the next best thing and you fail, it's like a meteorologist, nigga. Like, you say it's going to rain outside and it's sunny. Like, come on. You're like, those are the only people who can be wrong at their job and still keep a job. You know what I mean? We put too much faith in these people telling us that they're the next big thing, because 9 times out of 10, they're never going to be the next big thing. But aside from that, keep them in the game, let them play. You're only going to learn from your mistakes. You sitting down on a bench is going to help you learn from your mistakes. It's not.
All right, that's a good point. So when this came out, it shocked me, but it did not shock the Panthers fan base. The Panthers fan base was saying this yesterday, like, yo, it's time to bench him. It's not working out. This is the thing. And I want to go ahead and go, well, hey, they pay the bills, so Bryce Young is historically, let me start over. Let me start over this, because this is going to be another one of those ones. Bryce Young is historically terrible. But it is not his fault. It is the organization's fault. David Temper is your fault, the owner of the Panthers, because you keep firing coaches and you keep firing head office personnel because you don't have any patience. You didn't like Matt Rule. Even though Matt Rule is a proven college coach, and look what he did to Nebraska. He needs years to turn stuff around. You get rid of Brian Burns. You trade your best defender. You keep drafting offensive linemen that don't work. You trade for wide receivers. You draft wide receivers that are not doing good enough. Canales just got there. The head coach just got there, and you benched this boy after 2 weeks. I know he's getting hurt. I know he's getting, he had a bad year last year. But like, to Wayne's point, give him time to grow in the offense.
Right.
Yes, his confidence is shot. What you think this gonna do?
Right. Exactly, man.
You don't have any confidence, man, because y'all don't believe in him, because every time he gets consistent or try to have a good game, boom, everybody getting fired because the team is trash. This football is a team sport, and it takes a long time to build it. Remember, the Patriots were trash before Tom got up in there. Drew Bledsoe wasn't winning Super Bowls. You got to let it build. You have to build the team out. You don't have corners, man. You don't have linebacking core. You got to build this team out. That's the only way you're going to be able to win. You have to build talent. Let Bryce Young play, because Andy Dalton, he is a proven commodity. This here seems like people are trying to save their job. And you talking about you going to bench him. What about if Andy Dalton get injured next week? They played the Vegas Raiders. You think they playing? They just beat the Ravens. They ain't playing. What about he get injured? You gonna throw Bryce Young out there? What he gonna feel like? He gonna feel like the dude that got passed over.
Yeah.
And he gonna go ahead and throw more interceptions. Big homie Wayne, he said it
so
right.
So you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings.
You're gonna hurt somebody's feelings, and you're gonna get that boy possibly hurt in terms of his confidence level. I know that he has not shown what he could possibly be in this league, but y'all drafted a 5'9" motherfucker. Y'all drafted a 175-pound quarterback. Y'all did that. Y'all know that the only thing that he was good at was accuracy, but y'all did not surround him with any wide receiver talent. Adam Thielen was his only quarterback or his only wide receiver last year. Y'all did that. Y'all traded away CMC. Christian McCaffrey played for the Panthers. Y'all did that. Imagine if that boy had CMC and DJ Moore. Y'all are not drafting talent well. You're not building it out well. And then you keep trading the court coaches, which means it's changing the offensive scheme. Y'all setting that boy up to fail. Unfortunately, he's not CJ Stroud. Not everybody's going to be. That's a diamond in the rough. That's a once-in-a-generation talent. But he could be serviceable. And my last point to this, because I'm basically proving Big Homie Wayne completely right. My last point to this, Baker Mayfield, my former quarterback with the Browns. He gone. We let him go. Where'd he go? He went to the Panthers. What happened? He was out of that motherfucker because they suck. They also got Sam Darnold. They can't figure out the quarterback shit. What happened to Sam? He left. Now look at him. Baker Mayfield played for Tampa. They got one of the best offenses in the league. Sam Darnold out there, he only thrown one interception. He looks like the person that we thought he was going to be. His feet is underneath him. He knows how to throw. He throws with anticipation. He's on the money. He's not waiting. Why is that? Because they went to actual teams, organizations that are focused on them, that gave them a chance, that has a system, that has culture. And the Panthers don't have culture. Y'all got a team, but y'all got some tech goofy that think he know what he doing. This ain't Apple and this ain't fucking Google. This is football. Y'all just destroyed this dude's career when it comes to the Panthers. Y'all might as well either release him or trade him. Because the next time that boy go out there, he's going to be just as fucked up as he was before. And that's my take on it.
Now, real quick, I just thought of something. You say you agree with me that they should leave him alone and let him play. You said things a little differently last season about Zach Wilson on the Jets.
Oh, I think that is a good point, because I could be a hypocrite when it comes to that. That could be hypocritical. But I was proven right about Zach Wilson. Because that's a different level of bad. Bryce Young bad too, but Zach, bro, Zach looked like he didn't know what was going on out there. Neither does Bryce, though. Neither does Bryce. But they got Aaron Rodgers. If the Panthers got Aaron Rodgers on the bench, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, all right. But they got Andy Dalton on the bench. This is about trying to win games, because I feel like their new coach feel like he's going to get fired if they don't win, because they 0-2 already. And I believe for some particular reason in their mind, bro, that they thought they was going to be a better team than this. And I must have been the only one that thought they was going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They were on the Shador watch for me. I don't know about everybody else. So this is what this is. They're trying to get another quarterback, man. And I don't think Deion want his son to go there, dog. You think Deion Sanders want him to go to the Panthers?
Yeah, no, I don't think he does. But I mean, you can't really help it. But I would want my son to go to a low team, because he can only build that team up, and that's what I want to see. You take a team from the bottom up.
I feel where you coming from, big homie, because that's what CJ Stroud did.
Yeah,
and I think that was more of the exception rather than the rule. Because CJ Stroud, everybody was like, "Yo, this is gonna be one of the worst teams ever," and they had no expectations on the Texans. And they came in, they did their thing, and now they're handling the expectations well. But that's once in a lifetime, man. CJ Stroud is once in a lifetime. But what's gonna mess up Bryce Young is that he's always going to be compared to that boy because the Panthers was looking at both of them and they chose Bryce. But y'all chose somebody my height. That's on y'all. Y'all chose a 5-foot mother. That's on y'all.
Yo, I never paid attention how much height plays a role in that because I see him and I'm like, he does look a little tiny compared to the rest of them.
Bro.
You know,
he look, yo, bro. Does anyone else on the field look like him?
No.
Kyler Murray.
You could find him.
You could find him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kyler Murray look like, don't Kyler Murray like he weigh 100 pounds more than him?
Yeah, a little bit. Kyler
big.
Nah.
He mini, but he looked like he'd hit you. You feel me? Like in a dark alley, you'll be afraid of Kyler way more than you'd be afraid of that boy. You gonna be like, man, get away from me. You gonna mush Bryce Young, but Kyler.
I don't know. Is Kyler wearing one of those little brush joints with his shirt? Okay, because if that's the case, then I don't think I would be really afraid because that means he's covered up, so I really couldn't see. If that's the case, then he's just a 5'9" nigga.
Nah.
You know what I mean? But he got one of them cutoff joints with his boobs, and he got the rest of his joints showing paws. Then I'd be like, all right, well then, yeah, he might, fuck me up.
I say that company that it tests your heart rate and make sure that your blood sugar is good, make sure it tracks your concussion.
Man, they can do that with a regular T-shirt, a wife beater. You know what I'm saying? He got the woman version, bro.
All right, so we agree.
Let's move on.
We agree, but I say that this is an L to me for the Panthers because I don't know how you come back from this. I don't know how you come back from getting fired and then getting a job.
Bro, you act like they're the only 0-2 team, man. They'll be okay.
Oh, I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about Bryce.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I don't know how Bryce comes back from this. You know what I mean? I just don't. I think
because if it were me, I ain't talking to nobody. I'm cutting everybody off. Don't call me, don't nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we want. I'm still on the sidelines like this.
Text me, and every time he throw an interception, I'm gonna be like, see, I'm pointing right at him. See?
No, I didn't even go do that because see, they expect you to do that. Just sit there and be like,
and he get hurt.
Nigga, I'll be out there with my phone.
My hamstring messed up. Yeah, I'll be out there. With all my chains on, 100 chains on.
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
Still
get paid, baby. Yeah.
All right, man. So I don't know if our opinion is what people think, but let us know in the comments below because that's what we think. We feel like it's gonna be hard for that boy to come back if he ever gets the chance to start again. But to me, it's a good idea if he asks for a trade or hopefully another team go get him. I think he would be fantastic in Seattle. I think Seattle could definitely develop him. They're known for doing that. They got Geno. Geno's a little bit on the back half of his career, even though I think Geno going to start for the next few years anyway, because they just gave him a good contract. But to develop, grow confidence, sit and learn, I think Seattle will be great. And if he does have to play, Seattle has an amazing defense, and they have a good running game. So he could just rely on that if he does have to play. Another example, really quick before we go on, big homie, is did you see Malik Willis play?
If he did, then not to my knowledge, no.
So Jordan Love got injured during that Eagles game. He got injured like around the fourth quarter, and Malik came in, tried to throw a bomb, didn't work. Malik Willis was known as a bust. He got drafted by the Tennessee Titans, and people were saying that he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. They were saying that he should not be in the league. Colin Cowherd said that. He said that boy should not be in the league because when he played, he was horrible. That motherfucker went up to the Packers, bro, and he was serviceable, running around, ran the offense well, was throwing good passes, serviceable. Definitely a good, and it can be a good quarterback because he's mobile. It's the same thing with Bryce Young, man. Just need a really good offense. Just need time to develop, somebody to believe in you. And that's how it is for all of us, bro. That's how it is for every one of us. But y'all just giving up on cats, man. Number 1 overall pick, gave up everybody in your mom for him. It's like, now we're going to start.
I mean, that's if somebody gave you the data that he was going to do this, that, and the other, you believe it, you know?
In terms of the historical data, yes, he looks like he's horrible. But I do agree with you on this one. Speaking of agreeing, we're seeing like we got Dr. Sarita Bond on the stage.
Hey, yes. What's good?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Sorry I was late.
Yo.
She's half in the back.
Fashionably late, of course.
Beautifully late. How you doing, sweetie? Hope
Good.
everything's going
How are
good.
y'all? What did we talk about yet?
We just
Did y'all
got
talk
done
about
talking about we haven't got to that yet. We
No.
just got talking about how Bryce Young got benched, even though he's only 2 games into the season. But
Yeah.
for the sake of time, I do want to go to the Jags versus the Browns. And I
Okay.
hope that my homie is on because she wanted me to talk about the Jaguars after I watched the tape. So, after signing a massive $275 million extension, Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are off to a really bad start. 0-2. We just talked about how 0-2 teams, they have issues, but historically only 11% make it to the playoffs. Right now, the Jags are one of those teams that got an 0-2 record. That doesn't mean it's the death knell in the coffin because it seems like the Bengals do that every year, including this year. But the Jaguars' offense does look anemic and they have issues with scoring the football. So, Rita, did you watch the Jags versus Browns game?
No.
Cool.
I did.
Big homie Wayne, I think you did. Let me know what you thought about the Jags versus the Browns, and do you think that Trevor Lawrence, does it look like he doesn't deserve that contract?
No, again, just give the guy some time. I personally think he looked fine to me. He threw more yards than Watson did. I guess they did lose the game, but for it to be the Jags, I kind of feel like they should have lost by a lot more, especially with someone of Watson's caliber, regardless of what he's been going through. This would have been a good game for. I don't even want to say that because they did, win, but it wasn't. I personally don't believe it was a great win. I mean, yeah, congratulations, you beat the Jags, but Trevor Lawrence looked good. He looked decent to me. I mean, he looked a lot better than Bryce Young. You know what I'm saying? I think that he looked. No, I ain't gonna go that far. I ain't gonna piss everybody off by saying that. But I think he looked really good in this game. James, you brought something up a little earlier talking about Trevor Lawrence, about like his passes aren't as far, and like he doesn't have just like that arm like everyone else has. To that, I want to say, have you ever seen John Cena wrestle?
Of course.
Okay. If you take your time and pay attention, he is very uncoordinated.
Yes.
John Cena is very uncoordinated. He's quirky. He has such a big body, but he's still trying to do like these certain moves that a big body dude shouldn't do. Like you watching, you like praise is due to him, but like you just a quirky, awkward white guy. Trevor Lawrence is that to me. He's just like that quirky, awkward white guy. He's still uncoordinated a little bit. Like a Pau Gasol. Like they'll get the job done. But when you look at him, it's just all like goofy and kind of, you know what I mean? Just not like they don't have no style. And I think that's kind of what it is with Trevor Lawrence. It's like he doesn't really have any style or grace with it. And I guess that does kind of matter because, I mean, he's that's horrible. But yeah, I just feel like he's just one nigga. I just feel like he's just a little bit uncoordinated. That's why he can't really get it down the field as much. The fourth, he tried to throw it down the field a little bit, but like I said, he can only do so much because he's uncoordinated. But I still think he did a fairly decent job. I just feel like Trevor Lawrence is one of those people who needs to win the game by the third. He needs to have that win by the third because he's not a closer, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So he has to at least, that team has to have the win by the third. If they have it done by the first half, beautiful. But Trevor Lawrence isn't that person where you're like, okay, we got to go, man. We got to get this. And, the best you can do for Trevor Lawrence is like, let's get us up the field and field goal range. Because we know once you get in the red zone, you ain't going to do it. And I just feel like, it's just that little bit of uncoordinatedness along with him.
And he's this is his second or third year.
This is his third year. Fourth.
Oh, no, he should have it together by now.
Fourth.
He should have it
I think
together.
this is fourth. So, Rita, you watched
and I'm sorry too. And I'm sorry, the sack in the fourth.
The safety.
In the safety, yeah. It was that's kind of what I mean, man. Like he can't get out the pocket enough. Like I think he was too afraid. He had too many things going on in his head. And that's what's crazy. We was talking about this last season. I think you could see, because I think I said this about Jalen Hulu. You could see like it's too many things going on in his head. You could you could just tell, and I think that's the problem with Trevor Lawrence. If he, I don't know, man. I just feel like he overthinks. He's uncoordinated, and that kind of hinders him a bit. I'm sorry, but y'all go ahead. I apologize.
No, that's all good. So, Rita, you watched a lot of Trevor Lawrence in the past. I believe that you are somewhat of a Jaguars fan, even though I know you're truly a Texans fan. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence in the times that you have watched him? I know you didn't watch today's or yesterday's game, but what do you think about Trevor Lawrence? Do you think he deserves?
Well, he was all right last year. They actually had a decent year last year. They still lost and everything, but they had a few games where they like came through in the clutch. I even think they beat the Dolphins like once.
They beat a lot of teams last year, but they didn't make the playoffs.
No, and that makes sense because I think they were like 9-8 or some shit. So it's just like whatever. Or not even. I think they were like 8-9, but they did all right. They was all right. So my thing is like, okay, this is year 4. Year 1, you're either going to be like the star rookie, like CJ Stroud was, even though, and this is the thing, how you going to not be like CJ Stroud? And CJ Stroud actually lost like six weeks because he got fucked up. So it's just like, all right. But if he was in them 6 weeks, he would have broke records. So it's just like, okay, so the first year you wasn't, you were still getting to know your team. Second year, okay. Third and fourth. So now you're in year 4. What's going on, my G? Like, do you have a completely new defense, like front line now? Like, what's the problem? You ain't got nobody to run it to. So then going to what Wayne was saying, as far as like he looked uncoordinated and discombobulated. So then I'm gonna need you to get it together. So you need to like tap into some old head. Like, won't you call Peyton Manning and like spend like a week with him and get him like, because he's like Peyton Manning is the GOAT to me. I think he's more of a GOAT than Tom Brady. So I need you to connect with them. They need to have like an adult football camp for fuck ups because something is wrong where you're just like, you shouldn't be nervous. You shouldn't be like this. And then, yes, it does depend on your front line protecting you and all that. But if the protection is there, so what's the fucking problem? Like, I think he needs to like call somebody and get some guidance. Because year 4, I'm sorry, you should be on that. You should be like on that boss level. But then again, it's only week 2. Well, now we're going into week 3. So you never know. He might go ahead and watch the show, get motivated, and actually like bust our ass like the next 6 weeks and prove us wrong. Please do it.
All right. I love that. Watch the show. Word. So I watched the game 2 times because for one, I'm a Browns fan. So I watched the game when it was happening, obviously, because I wanted to see what Deshaun Watson was like after all the allegations and this crazy ass week. I thought Deshaun played a B level. I thought that he knew that offense. This is the first time I ever seen him know the offense this year and really last year too. Run it well. They were able to run, but what killed the Browns and what made this not a bigger blowout was the penalties. So the Browns got penalized for 100 yards.
Damn.
Do you know that is it's like the highest that it's been in years? Like for the Browns organization, you can't get penalized 100 yards to still win a game. That's crazy. We got a safety, but the Browns barely won the game, and the Jaguars had a chance because of all of our penalties. We constantly was giving up yards or losing our big gains. And plus, on the Browns front, Amari Cooper looks like either he's mad or he's done. He's on the back end of his career because he missed several catches yesterday. My point of saying all of that is if you have 50 less yards and Amari Cooper was catching the ball, the Browns would have blew out the Jaguars yesterday.
Do you think he was doing it on purpose?
Hell, no. I think Amari Cooper is having an existential crisis in terms of the fact that he did not play in the preseason. He was holding out, so he didn't have a long training camp. I don't think him and Deshaun Watson are ever going to be on the same page. Sometimes that happens between quarterback and wide receiver. And I also feel like he's pissed because he doesn't have a larger contract. And he's also 32 years old, and he's getting to that age where he needs to have his last big deal, and he deserves it because he broke records. But,
so he's pulling a Scottie Pippen because he's not getting the money that he wants.
I don't know.
Get him the fuck off the field then. Get him off the field.
And that's why we tried to trade him. We tried to trade him for Ayuk, but Ayuk didn't want to come to the Browns.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to the Browns because I don't know what the shit they do.
This motherfucker is quiet quitting.
No. That's
yes.
That's not what I wanted to say. He's not quite quitting. It's just a lot of stuff that's going on mentally that's causing him to just have these weird, inconsistent drops.
But
And
mostly the money, most of the contract.
It could be, but I'm just stating what's happened. I ain't saying what's going on because I don't know the boy mental, and I know Amari Cooper is a professional. But the Raiders did get rid of him, and so did the Cowboys. And I think it's because sometimes he does get into these laws of where he like, fuck y'all, y'all need to give me my bread. I do think he does get like that. I think he does. So I'm not saying definitively, but let me talk about the Jaguars. After watching the Jaguars again and watching literally just all the Jaguars plays and Trevor Lawrence, all his throws, that team does not have a problem on offense until they get into the red zone. And I haven't seen a team like this where the offense flows, where that boy Trevor Lawrence will make a deep run, where he'll run for 36 yards. But then, and he's 6'5", he's running 36 yards down the seam. But then, hey mamas, but then for some particular reason, the offense becomes anemic in the red zone. And this is Doug Peterson type of team. So I'm surprised they don't have more exotic looks. I think that there's a disconnect between Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, and there's a disconnect between that red zone offense. It is atrocious. They would have won this game if they didn't have kick after kick after kick after kick. So either ETN needs to run harder or they need to have more different type of schemes. But they have played. I don't think that the Jaguars fans should worry because I feel like this is something easy to figure out. If you can get the ball into the red zone and you can get on the red zone channel on NFL, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I think that this is an 0-2 team that people are going to sleep on, and that's going to make them extremely dangerous. And it doesn't look like the Colts are good in their division. And the only thing they have to do is beat the Texans, and that's not going to be easy. Other than that, I feel like Jaguars are going to be good. So thank y'all for y'all. Hopefully that helps my homie out that said they was going to tune in. Your team is fine. But y'all got to figure out that red zone part. You don't got to get into the red zone to score. You can score from the 50.
Word.
Goddamn ball.
You sure?
But, you know what I mean? Also, I think that Ingram being out, their main red zone threat, their best, like one of the best tight ends in the league, also does not help. But their backup was extremely, he was extremely athletic yesterday. So that's what I think. I think that people need to chill out. Trevor Lawrence is fine. Does he deserve $275 million? That's what the market dictates. You can't say anything. But cutting bait right now, hell to the no. Just let him cook. Let him do his thing. Give him more time. Jaguars are going to be fine. And their defense, I do like their defense. They're very young on defense. They got Josh Allen or whatever his new last name is. I think that they're going to be good. So let's move right along. And I know that everybody's probably waiting to talk about this. I know that, Rita definitely is. But let's talk about the Texans versus the Bears.
Yes. Oh my God.
So if you didn't watch the first episode this season of YFM Sports, What the F Happened This Week, Rita predicted the Texans to go to the Super Bowl. And I think me and Big Homie Wayne was like, maybe, but it's early. Well,
wasn't feeling it. Wasn't
we
feeling
both go crazy. I picked the Browns. I'm a lunatic. Obviously, I love pain. Maybe I'm into, pinhead type of stuff. But the Texans look like they are going to be one of those teams that are not only good on offense and defense and special teams, but also have the ability to produce in prime time, which a lot of teams don't do with young quarterbacks such as CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
So
This game was watched by a lot of people because of Caleb Williams. People are starting to have concerns over Caleb Williams because of another subpar performance. He was the number 1 overall pick if you live under a rock and don't watch the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And people thought that the Bears was going to be one of those surprise teams. Big bet in favor for Caleb to be Rookie of the Year and for the Bears to make it into the playoffs. But right now, he continues to struggle. He's the first overall pick, and he has only a 56% completion percentage, which rates him as one of the bottom in the league with 2 interceptions, and he still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. So I know, Rita, you watched the game. You're a big Texans fan. I want to know, what are your thoughts about the Texans And also, I want to know, what do you think about Caleb Williams as, your team beat the Bears?
So this game had me screaming. I'm surprised I still had a voice.
She said,
this shit was so exciting. God, baby, I need to go to a Texas game. Texas, give me a press pass, baby. And let me get in the locker room too. So anyway,
no.
So in the beginning, right? So they only had the beginning was just like field goals. Shout out to the Texans. Fairburn, I think is the field goal. I think the first field goal was like 52. The second one was like 54. The other one was like 8. Bitch, he was up in there like, kick this fucking ball. Fuck you. Bam. Incredible. He had a very good day. You can't fuck up for the rest of the season. I'm sorry. Your go-to now is 55. Like that's what you normally rock with. If you miss a field goal after that, you're fired. So then of course, like they just like clutch. I told y'all they know how to hold it down in the clutch. They know how to pass. Mixon was incredible. Didn't even Diggs only had, I think, either one TD or like a couple catches. He even had to go ahead and play on Diggs. And I think it's because the defense was kind of like very protective of him because he snapped with Diggs on the last game. But that's okay, bitch, because he had like 3 other receivers that he could just like throw it to. They are boss on offense. Their defense is the fucking truth. When I tell you that they whipped their ass. Wait a minute. Am I thinking about the right game? Serious fucked up stats. Oh no.
Yeah.
Somebody was whipping somebody's ass. They whipped their ass like they actually got hurt. Like, no, it was this game. Well, anyway, either way, it was the Saints game too. That the Saints team was whipping the defense whipped their ass. Like literally, they was whipping their ass. But the Houston Texans, they was whipping the Bears' ass. So it's like, God, it was just so fucking good. And then I don't know why. Okay, so I just love the Texans. They did an amazing job. They came through in the clutch and like all around, they had an all around game that was sick. They should have actually scored more, but it was like a fucked up call from somebody. I don't know. So, and then they kept getting like false starts. It was just like, y'all being real stupid. So the referees was like giving them shit afterwards in the bottom half, which is why they only scored 3, which is stupid. Now the Bears. So they made a big stink about Caleb Williams. And I didn't even know that he was the Heisman thing. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. So this is the thing. Don't be sitting there talking shit and then you can't back it up. So this is the reason why everybody thought he was number 1. He was number 1. He came from the bottom. His mom was there, and his mom and Stroud's mom was like in the audience together, sitting next to each other. I know she was like, "Bitch, my son whooped your ass." I would have. So then they was like, they introduced him. They had a big old intro. He was the Heisman winner. He was the number 1 draft pick. Boom, boom, boom. And then he go on the field and he ain't shit. So it's like, okay, but this is the thing. Y'all are putting this precedence on him. You are making him a boss ass like pick. So now the pressure is on. Can you handle my pressure? Can you handle the pressure? He supposedly went to Peyton Manning's thing. He went to the other dudes. Wait a minute. Was it CJ Stroud that went to Peyton Manning's shit and Aaron Rodgers like football camp? Or maybe both of them motherfuckers did. Anyway, they went to all the camps. And that's how come they got so good. And then he got drafted and he was the Heisman winner and all that. Well, where are all the skills at now? So this is how I knew he was going to fuck up. This is how I knew. Because in the beginning of the game, when they was coming out of the little Johns, and they was like, the chick on the sideline was like, so did you talk to Caleb and how does he feel? Well, this is what she said. He's very confident that he's going to do well in this game. Be humble. Sit down. Your humble is out of here. And now you look like shit on the field. You could tell when looking at CJ Stroud that he's very humble. He had a humble ass rookie year. And he got hurt. And he still went like all the way to the fucking like divisional. He's humble though. He's not sitting there talking shit and just like all rah with it. So apparently this guy's an asshole. Well, now you're gonna get proved wrong. You don't have the Bears squad and the steel curtain and all that shit. Like the Bears ain't a whole bunch of like 300-pound, 400-pound frontline dudes anymore. And then I didn't see the rhythm with your squad either. I didn't see the rhythm. Y'all don't mesh well. Maybe it's because he's too fucking cocky. That's what I saw on the field. And then he's sitting there in his bag when he get on it. Every time he got left off the field with a 3 and out, he was just sitting there like moping. Nah, baby. No, baby. Get mad. Girl, if you don't get off my thing. Get mad. Look at the John. Get the iPad, my G. Look at it and see where you went wrong. Don't be sitting there looking like mope-a-dope. And then the offensive coordinator come and try to check you, and you sitting there like, no, hey, bro. Get it together, boo-boo. Get it together. We ain't got time for that because you the fucking rookie. So either you're going to show up or you're going to be the fuck, or you're going to get humbleized every fucking week.
All right.
So,
what do you think?
Tell me, I didn't watch the game, but tell me, what's so good about 1 touchdown and 1, 2, 4 field goals? What are we happy about here?
They moved up the field. They took over the clock. It was very strategic, my G.
But you did it to get a field goal? But you got strategic to get like 3 points over and over and over and over and over again.
But they took the clock. My G, when they had scored, was it the second quarter when they had the 13, they get the thing, and then I think it was either the third quarter, they took over the entire was it the fourth quarter? They took like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
first
I see
down,
that.
Run it, first down, running a little bit.
Only so yeah, I see that, but then it only led to a 53-yard field goal. That's half the field.
That's the main
thing. What are we doing?
But they were real strategic with it. He could have scored some more, but the Bears defense was mad. What, mama? Get off.
I don't think that
it was a strategic game. They took, this is the thing, it's more than just scoring, my G. They took over, they took the clock. They didn't even give them the opportunity to come back like they would have anyway.
All right. I think that watching that game, I would definitely say that
Let me see.
we are discounting how good the Bears defense actually is.
Okay.
The Bears defense won them the game last week because Caleb couldn't score. He had less than 90 yards passing last week, which is atrocious for any quarterback. I don't give a hell if this is your first game or your last game. The defense is saving the Bears season, just like they did last year. This is the same thing that happened last year with Justin Fields. And this is why people were saying, yo, just give Justin Fields more weapons. I don't know about y'all, but did y'all see Justin Fields, the Steelers, yesterday play? He looks perfectly fine. He looks fine. He doesn't look like a terrible quarterback. He looked better than Caleb. But also, when it comes to Caleb Williams, I was talking to someone else about the Bears today, and they was feeling worried. And I said this. I said, Caleb is a rookie. I know everybody thinking that he Patrick Mahomes. That's what they said. That's not true. Caleb is a rookie. And Caleb's main issue is very simple. He doesn't know when to throw the ball. His anticipation takes too long to process. His processing time, his internal clock is 5 seconds because in college, he had 5-6 seconds to throw the ball.
They talked about that too. They talked about that. And he worked on it. He worked on it this week.
No, he did not. Because
he did.
No, he did not. Even though he threw short passes, that's not when people say your internal clock. That's not what that means. A screen, a check down is not the same thing as I'm going through progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. That's when it's supposed to take less than 3 seconds. Bing, boom, 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 boom. That's what Tom Brady did. That's what Holmes does. That's what Aaron Rodgers does and did. That's what the elite do. That's what the capable do. That's what Baker Mayfield does. That's what CJ Stroud does. Stroud knows exactly. He knows the offense. He studies the offense. And when it's time to throw that ball, he gets it out. And if he has to extend the play, he extend the play either going straight or going to his right or to his left. But he's not sitting there trying to spin around and shit, acting like you fucking Michael Vick. That's what Caleb does. Caleb's going to be fine, and the Bears are going to win games because of their defense. But it's not going to be because of Caleb, because he needs time to grow. And everyone, all the Bears fans that's all nervous and shit, he is not a bust. He just needs time.
Why is that? Why are we so impatient? If it's not Young, then it's this guy. What are we doing, man?
We have rookie quarterbacks that came in and slayed.
But there's only been one really recently, and that's been C.J. Stroud. Baker did it as well.
Well, he ruined it for everybody.
Year, but no, it's like Baker set records his first year, but it's very rare. Most first round quarterbacks fail. Most first round draft picks fail. Yeah. Most of the people that you see on NFL teams that you see on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays and shit, they're third to like 7th round draft picks or undrafted. Shannon Sharp was undrafted, I think, or a 6th round pick. Tom Brady,
I think Herbert had a good rookie year too. Justin Herbert had a good rookie year too. He set records.
It was okay, but it wasn't like CJ. CJ is now what people compare it to. So to answer Big Homie Wayne question, I think that people are impatient, bro, because they keep getting these. If you have the first pick or the first like 5 picks, you're basically getting drafted by historically bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
So the Saints, when's the last time the Saints had a top 5 draft pick? Probably about 15 years.
Yeah.
They don't. So that means that the Saints doesn't have the benefit of getting those top pass rushers, those top quarterbacks, those top wide receivers. The closest I think y'all got was when y'all got Chris Olave, and that was like number 8.
We always had to get the niggas in the middle.
Right, because y'all so good, but y'all been good forever because y'all had the Breeze era, and now y'all have a whole new era, it looks like. So it's like y'all ain't gonna be picking like that. So your team doesn't know. But you know who knows? The Falcons. That's why they pay Kirk Cousins a boatload of money, and then they draft a quarterback because their fan base is looking for something. That's why the Texans had the number 2 pick and they chose C.J. Stroud. And that's why if C.J. Stroud was trash, they will be on his ass. Pause. Because like my Browns, man, you end up just making bad decisions when you don't got no quarterback, Big Homie Wayne. You end up getting massage envy.
Bro, you keep saying that like it's a problem. If y'all stop making fun of that man and let him do what he does, he'll bring the W's to the team.
I'll be fine.
Stop making fun of him. Let him do what he do.
I just want him to stop catching cases. I'm sorry.
I do too. I do too.
Dude, thank you.
I forgot.
Just stop touching people. Not asking for butt rubs. That's it.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention.
No, why can you not ask for a butt rub if you got the money for one, man?
It's not consensual. Go ahead.
Because it's not consensual. Hold on, before we get to the next topic, I gotta talk about the Royal Rumble at the Texans game.
Oh my God! This
what happened?
Fight.
It was a Royal Rumble. Okay, so something happened. Okay, the dude. Okay, so the Texan dude. It was a clean hit. It wasn't helmet to helmet. It wasn't none of that.
It was hard.
However,
he
hit the fuck out of this guy in the sideline. So when the dude got, and then all the Bears just came together like, what the fuck, man? So the next thing you know, it was a Royal Rumble on the sideline. But here's the thing. The dude, Alameda, something like that, something with an A. Y'all know I'm horrible. Something with an A. He got up. No, it wasn't even the dude that tackled him, or it might have been, I don't know, Saint Aloe Saint, some shit. Anyway, it has a hyphen in his name. He got up because it was Bear Central, and all the Texans started coming around and punched the shit through the helmet. Punched the shit out of this dude. He said, fuck! And it went through the helmet. It was through here. It was in here. And the guy was like, whoa. So then it really started like getting crazy, pushing, shoving, fuck you, da 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 da. The referees ain't see shit. Nobody got kicked out the game. It was beautiful. Let them fight. Let them fight.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what the NBA needs. That's what the NBA needs again, man. Let Draymond do his thing. Let these people fight.
So then the announcers, I think it was Brady. Was it Tom Brady and the other dude? No, they were just like, he said, oh my God, is he going to get ejected? And he was like, no, he's not going to get ejected because the referees didn't see it. And now it's going to be up to the team to go ahead and reprimand him during the week. No one got ejected. It was insane. I loved it.
Clip of that and put it up.
Yeah, he punched. It went through the thing. Like, I know he got a mark on his nose.
Hey, baby mamas. Look at my baby.
Yeah, it was brutal. I loved it.
So Rita got her fill of carnage, and so did Big Homie Wayne.
Yes.
Next up, I want to go ahead and pivot. And I did want to talk about the Bengals versus the Chiefs, but we're kind of running long on time, Big Homie. I really want to talk about the Saints versus the Cowboys because I'm going to just give you the floor and let you go ahead.
You ain't even got to do that, bro. You ain't even got to do that. But if you insist,
because you deserve it.
First off, who that? Just want to throw that out there real quick. All right. Just want to throw that out there real quick. I'm going to say that was one of the best damn games I've seen in like 3 years, bro. That game was so it was emotionally incredible. Just watching them. I think they scored 4 touchdowns in the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken, or three touchdowns. That was unheard of, man. This is the best the Saints has ever been since maybe the Super Bowl year, I believe. That game was really something special because all it takes is for that to happen, that score against a great team like the Cowboys to reinvigorate the city. And I can almost imagine how New Orleans feels right now with everything that's going on with the Saints for the past couple weeks, man. Shout out to Derek Carr because I was a non-believer. I was a non-believer last season. I was I was an acceptor. You know what I mean? Like that's what we have, so that's what I'm gonna take. You know, he showed out, man. You know, James said he looked Brady-esque. I say he looked looked a little like Breezy. You know what I mean? I feel so good about how the season is gonna be, but I'm also really afraid too. You know, I still have that little small bit of doubt that you always have for being a New Orleans fan. But I'm sorry, man. Like 3 touchdowns in the second quarter is nothing to kind of like turn your head at. And then you also have this is the real story though. Let's talk about Dakota. So Dakota doesn't deserve that 240. This is why they should have waited to the end of the season to give him that money. They should have waited until next year to see what was going to happen, see what he was going to do, if he was going to pull a Scottie Pippen and just not try to play for the rest of the season and just, how do you say, like force quit? You know, is that what you said, Rita? So
quiet quitting.
So yeah, I feel like Dakota didn't deserve that 240. I'm not saying that Carr deserves a 240 either, but he definitely doesn't deserve it, man. I definitely would have thrown that in his face if I was Carr. Carr is a much better person than me because that every touchdown I would have been like 240. What 240? 240? Come on, where the 240 at? I would have. That was in Dallas. I would have been like, "Where's the 240? What's going?" Like, I just would have been throwing it all up in their face. But he's a better guy than me, and it's probably best that he didn't do that. You know. But yeah, no, Dakota. You know what you're talking about? They benched Bryce Young. Bench Dakota, man. Bench that guy. Embarrass him because he sure as hell went for Jerry Jones's neck and tried to embarrass him in front of everybody, in front of the whole country. So yeah, no, man. Yeah, embarrass him. I think it's his turn to get a little bit of embarrassment. You know, it's his turn to have everybody kind of talk bad and down about him, not because he didn't get the to get his contract just yet. But as soon as he got it, he didn't show anything, man. He hasn't shown anything to show that, yo, you have to be better than Mahomes. You have to be better than this person. Right now, the only person that he's playing better than, I can't even say that. I was going to say Massage Envy, but shit, they 1-1, man. They neck and neck right now is what I said. So yeah, no, this story, unfortunately, for me, is more about Dakota and how I want to say I told you so to everyone. I told you so to Jerry Jones. You should have just waited until the end of the season to talk about how much you wanted to pay him. He had to show and prove about what was going to happen. All this signing people before the season starts, I think it's absolutely whack. I think it's unnecessary. I think it's a huge waste of money. James, you and I were just talking about that earlier. Like, me and James are talking about, like, yo, who cares about? Who cares about these millionaires talking about, I need a contract and, I got to feed my kids. I'm like, nigga, you a millionaire. How do you not feed your kids? And James is like, oh, well, their million is kind of comparable to our thousands. I don't care about that, man. $1 million is $1 million. If you live beyond your means, that's on you, bro. So you're going to have to wait until the end of the season. You're going to have to show and prove that you deserve this money in the off season. Obviously, you didn't show it. The only reason he got this money so soon, I think, is because he complained about it. Otherwise, he would have got it in the off season. But I really don't think that Jerry Jones is really happy with him. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I don't think he's really happy with him. And he gave him the 240 because that's really all he had, So he had to go with it. But he doesn't deserve it. This is why you need to wait till the offseason. Wait till you see what the person's going to do. And this is the only time you're going to hear me say this, but I feel bad for Jerry Jones, man. That he had to waste his money like this.
Did you see him in the stands?
Yeah, the whole time just man.
No, and I think it was the fourth when they hit when they hit the 30 mark, when they hit over 30, he was in the box like this. Mm-hmm. And the dude that was next to him, I don't know if that's his son. They look just alike.
That's his son.
Mm-hmm.
That was his son. His son was like this too. Look, pure red. Yeah. Mad as shit.
So I want to talk about this game because I thought it was extremely interesting. And I do not blame the Cowboys for this. But I do want to get a little bit of a solo screen because I want to reply back to Big Homie Wayne. Big Homie Wayne is right in this standpoint. Jerry Jones said that he was going to go all in on this season. And what he meant by all in was that he wasn't going to give nobody no contracts. He was going to let everybody play out their contract. He didn't do that. He bowed to the pressure. CD got big bread. Dak, he got his money.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we see you on the big stage. We see you in an important game that you should win. And you lay an egg again.
Yeah.
And you don't get beat by a close mark. You get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on. This is the problem. When there's expectations, when you look good, the next week, y'all falter. Every time the Cowboys look like they're going to be something special, they fall apart. And you got Dak with this still reserved look. He's not making the throws. People can't catch the ball all of a sudden. The rushing game, which didn't exist anyway, definitely doesn't work. And the defense gets dominated. But this is Jerry Jones' fault because he's the one that gave in and paid them. And then he didn't add nobody to this team. They had like 4 transactions in terms of free agent signings this entire offseason. They were super duper quiet. This is what you paid for. You already knew what you were paying for, and this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, you're going to get the same result in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not pay somebody when they show you what their work is like. You're going to pay them. You're going to give somebody a raise when you know that they mediocre. What business does that?
None.
And you can bitch and moan about a raise all you want at your regular job. Me, Big Homie Wayne, everybody else, we be like, yo, we deserve more money. But we're going up there and we're doing mediocre work. We already know not to ask. We wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
But he did. CeeDee Lamb did. I love CeeDee Lamb, but he can disappear. I love Michael Parsons, but he can disappear. And then you go up there, ask for a raise, you get your bread, and you put on this performance. This is the reason why they paid you all that money, so we can stop this type of stuff from happening. Yeah. But I would be wrong if I did not talk about the Saints. There's a reason why the Saints are this good. It's one person. His name is Clint Kubiak. If you don't know the Kubiaks, they are like a family of coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, they talk about them. The announcer said that.
Yes, Clint Kubiak is one of the newest, members of the family that's in the coaching, been a position coach, but now he's the offensive coordinator. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about in terms of the Kubiaks, you know this, the Shanahans, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. They are from the same coaching tree. So the same offense that the Shanahans run is the same one that the Kubiaks run, and it's hand in hand. So you hire a Kubiak that runs this play action offense that's based off of the run. You give him Kamara, who has been underutilized for the past 3 years. And you say, yo, you're going to be CMC. You're going to be Christian McCaffrey, the dude that's on the new Madden cover. And look what he has done. He had 44 fantasy points yesterday. That boy is stupid because they're running him like CMC. And guess what they telling Derek Carr to do? Throw it off the play action. we only going to throw it 15, 16 times a game. You ain't going to win the MVP, but you're going to lead us to the playoffs. And guess what they asked that boy Brock Purdy to do? Throw it 15, 20 times a game, and you're going to get us to the Super Bowl? Clint Kubiak is not going to be on this team next year. He's going to be a head coach. The Saints can win the Super Bowl this year. They got the defense to do it, and they got the offense. If people stay healthy, they are a problem for real.
Yep.
People better recognize because their division is weak. They only got to beat Tampa Bay. That's going to be hard, but they got to beat Tampa Bay. And if you look at it, the Lions don't look the same. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The Eagles don't look the same.
Yeah.
The Packers,
No, they don't.
Their quarterback is injured. This shit is wide open. This is wide open. I'm telling you, the Saints can win the Super. I know it's only 2 weeks and people going to be, that's hyperbolic. That boy Clint Kubiak runs the 49ers offense. That offense is made perfect for this personnel. The Saints are a problem. Rita, everything I was saying, I guess they was talking about on the live broadcast. But
yeah, they did. Yup. They sure the fuck did. They said, man, that's Shanahan. They said that's that Shanahan offense. I was like, the fuck? I'm thinking Shanahan was on the side. They kept talking, they kept pointing to the coordinator, and I thought he was a Shanahan.
Because he was like, oh, coach. He about to be a head coach.
So fucking Kamara, I'm thinking he had 400 yards. It looked like he had 400 yards. He actually only had 220. But to me, that
running back.
So in Sarita's fucked up stats turn, that's 440 yards. So he had 440 yards that game. He was an animal. They couldn't even. You would think that he would get double teamed. So they will go ahead and adjust the defense and he'll double team. That ain't happen. They ain't happen. And
you don't know where he's gonna catch it. You don't know if he's gonna run it. You don't know where Kamara gonna be at. Kamara's out in the flat. He's out in the he's in the right flat, and then he's doing screens, and then he's running the ball. And I'm sorry, but Derek Carr don't got to make a lot of decisions. He can just sit back and be like, bing, boom, bow. It's 1, 2, 3. It's easy and it's quick. It's 2.4 seconds. It's fast. It's moving. And everybody's open because you don't know what's coming. That's the 49ers, man.
Yeah. And then don't even talk about the Saints defense. So the defense was whipping their ass. I'm pretty sure it was this game now that I think about it. The defense was whipping their ass, like literally.
Yeah, it was fighting them. Yeah,
it was a fight. They was fucking them.
They're super aggressive because their head coach is a defensive coordinator. They hit.
And even Tom Brady said that. Tom Brady was saying that. Was this the game?
Brady did it. I think he did initiate that. He did talk about this game. He commented.
Yeah, it was like, he was like, oh my God. He said, I've been on that field with them Saints. They hit hard. I said,
Tampa Bay, they only beat when Tom Brady was quarterback, they only beat the Saints in the regular season once.
Yeah, because he was getting his ass whipped.
He was getting his ass
and
whipped.
Then Dakota had, hold on, because I seen every single interception. I think he had 3 or 2. How many interceptions did he have?
2. I think he had
2. Okay,
yeah,
it felt
I think Derek had 1.
Okay, it was 2 in the possible.
Man, damn.
It was 2 in the possible. So both of them. Ow, my nail got stuck in my hair. Oh. Anyway, the one time that the interception happened, and I was just like, I said, "Ooh, fuck!" So right when I said, Dak, they showed Dak on the field. He was like,
he knew it.
I loved it. I was like, oh. He said,
can I say one more thing about this game?
He screamed. He was pissed.
Ezekiel Elliott had 6 carries for 16 yards.
Why is he even there?
Don't do that. Yo, don't do that, man.
Sorry,
come on. You know his pedigree.
I know his pedigree, but
I think he only saved the down maybe once. He saved the day on one down. And it was like, they give it to Elliott. And then he finally got the first down. But that was like once.
That's 2.7 yards per carry, big homie.
Baby, he can go. He can go.
No, he cannot. They need him. They ain't got nobody else. Yeah. They ain't got nobody else, sis. They ain't got nobody else. That team does not have anyone else to run. That's what I'm saying. Jerry Jones is living like this is 2015. Man, this is 2024, dog. Like, Zeke ain't the same. This team ain't the same. You can't keep bringing everybody back. Like, but Big Homie Wayne, he said he feels sorry for him, for the old man.
Jerry Jones. Yeah,
Jerry
I
Jones.
feel sorry for Jerry Jones.
I feel like they are abusing this old man. It's starting to be abused. Because he shouldn't have paid him. And that person that was sitting next to Jerry Jones, that's the actual GM. That's the thing. Jerry Jones, I don't feel sorry for him because he don't want to hire real personnel. He want to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Like, this is a soap business and we black. We selling black soap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to hire a business manager. You know what I mean? You got to hire somebody else that knows the industry. He ain't doing that. He think just because you watch the games, you know football.
He didn't recruit not one new player.
Bro, they added 4 players in the offseason that were free agents. Everybody else was drafted. I'm not lying. Look it up. This is the same team from last year. What they do last year? They lost, didn't they?
Yakfui.
So what you expect? You expect to pay everybody gonna be good when they lost last year, and then you bring back Ezekiel Elliott like he a culture setter? His gut look like mine. I ain't trying.
He got a fupa.
Yeah.
No, his gut look like mine, bitch. He got a fupa.
Real quick, you said CMC is on the new cover of Madden.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
shit.
So it's the Madden curse.
Yeah.
Injured.
See,
yeah.
Well, Pat was on it a couple of times and he won the Super Bowl, so people thought it was over. And then
Say it again. Who did?
Pat was on it a couple of times and he won the bowl. So people thought it was over. But CMC always get injured. He's a running back and he run crazy, so he gonna get injured every year. Ain't nobody care. He'll be fine. He's healthy, but they put him on IR because he said I think the team just want to rest him for the playoffs. They're trying to get to the Super Bowl. 49ers don't give a damn about the regular season, dog. They're trying to get to the bowl. They're trying to win the bowl. They don't care about the regular season. Only thing they care about the regular season, win enough games so they can get a bye week possibly, and get to the bowl. But we done talked about everything under the sun besides one thing that Big Homie Wayne wanted to bring up. And Rita, you can comment on this as well. I did put up a TikTok reel about it this week regarding Tua and my personal thoughts, but I want to get your thoughts. Big Homie Wayne, what do you think about Tua? Just for context, and I wanted to show this so everybody can just kind of know, but I'm pretty sure out there we all know. If you look at the screen right now, this is called a fizzer. So when you get a concussion, some people, when they get concussions, their hands get twisted up and they have a spasm called fizzers. It's a
Don't they call that? I think said it was something else, right? I read on
He
it.
didn't have that. Did that happen again?
Yeah, that
happened. Yeah.
That happened.
They gave it another name.
Thursday night, or was that Thursday night football? Yeah, that was Thursday.
It happened again.
Yeah, that's the second time it's happened to him.
Third time, I think.
Well, he's had 4 concussions in 2 years. Now, the thing is that Denzel Ward, a cornerback for the Browns, he's had 5 recorded concussions in the past 4 years. But people are saying that he has severe symptoms, and every time he gets these terrible concussions, it's actually on live broadcasted TV where they're the only game. So it's like the only thing on to watch. So Big Homie Wayne, I want to hear your opinion. Do you think that Tua should take his money, take his ball, go home and chill out in retirement, or do you think that he should continue to play if he wants to? What are your thoughts?
He should continue to play. It's part of the game. Again, I come from the old school. It's part of the game. Again, I'm a big wrestling fan, so you got to take your concussion, drink some water and get back in there. Yeah, he's got a lot of money, and he's not going to quit because he wants to play. He has a goal, So no, I don't think. Just to simply put, you didn't have to put me on the one screen for this one. He should stay. He should stay. If he wants to, if anything, if he wants to protect himself a little bit, then maybe become second string to somebody else. Yeah, no, this is unfortunate. This is part of the game. And I don't want to say that we're all being a little sensitive about it, especially what happened to was it Hamlin, Damar Hamlin?
And Damar Hamlin, just for context, is the one that caused the concussion. Tua went right into his chest, how Damar Hamlin died. He ran right into his chest. Damar Hamlin hit him. He ended up having a concussion. Damar Hamlin, thank God, was fine. But it was kind of weird that happened. And it seems like That's crazy. Stop putting the
That's
Buffalo
so
Bills in
true.
prime time. Yes, there's always some weird stuff that happens. But yes. All right, big homie Wayne. Thank you for that perspective. Rita,
Yeah.
what do you think about this injury? And do you think that Tua should retire? Looks like you're reading up on it.
No, I'm trying to see. They said something like it's like no concussion clause. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? That means that he can go if he want, or he gonna have a problem leaving.
Well, while you're looking that up, I would like to go ahead and reiterate
I know.
my point.
Well, I'm ready though. I'm
Oh,
ready.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Man, it's this is hard because you don't want. Okay, maybe he should just take a break, but at the same time, that might hinder him or affect his like athletic ability unless he's going to keep practicing. I just don't think it's worth your life. I just remember like the Will Smith movie. I think it's called Concussion. The Will Smith
Yep.
movie where like this shit has like long term effects. And the weird thing about it is that these effects are actually happening in real time. So some people just don't like react well to certain injuries. Like some people never heal from an Achilles break, and they are out the very next season, and then it keeps happening again and again, and it's just like you know what, it's not worth it. And it just seems like his body is trying to tell him something. I didn't know he did the hand thing. I didn't know that happened again. I remember them showing the clip of him being in the concussion and he was on the floor, but on the ground. But I didn't know the hand thing happened again. So this is like the third time. Like, I'm sorry. I think he needs to. I know it's going to be very painful for you, but I think you need to fall back for your health. And because just looking at what happened with Damar Hamlin, and that is really like on some old like Friday 13th type shit. But like looking at Damar Hamlin, this motherfucker died. He was pronounced dead on the field off of a hit that he enacted. And then he came back, I think, the next year, the next season, and even then he wasn't even like out there like that. Now he's like full on ready. He's completely healed up. So I think he needs to step away completely, or go ahead and take a break, like 2 years. But either way, his body is not reacting to the concussions like the other players are. He's actually having like neurological brain type issues, and it's just not safe. I'm sorry. It is not safe. Do you want to live and be an announcer, or do you want to die on a fucking field? You want to be a Lieutenant Dan and be dead on the fucking field just because your ancestors did? Fuck that shit. Live, my G. Live, my G. Football will always be here. So many other things you can do. As a matter of fact, why don't you say, fuck this shit, get off the field and coach Caleb's ass? Won't you be a football like consultant, quarterback consultant? Because you was all right. Won't you do that? I'm sorry. Get the fuck off the field, baby. It's not worth your life, man. Fuck that money. You got it anyway.
Yeah. I don't agree at all. My opinion is that it's his choice. The reason why I say it's his choice is because the Tuas, that family, the Tua Tagovailoas, that whole family is a football family now. Everyone in that family now plays football. The men, they going and playing. They got the brother plays in Maryland. He didn't make it to the league, but everyone's gonna play football in that family now. This is different type of wealth. This is generational. Tua played a whole season last year without concussion, from what we know. And there's players in this league that get concussions every week that are just not reported because those offensive linemen, those defensive linemen, they hit in heads every time.
Yeah.
The difference with him is that it's extremely visible and it's us judging it from what we're seeing. Tua already came out and said, I'm going to play. I'm fine. I'm going to neurologists to figure out what the fuck is going on. We have no idea how CTE affects the brain. Just because they make movies and shit, and a whole bunch of people that died as football players said they had CTE, you don't truly know how that affects the game because there's been players that's played for years, such as Troy Aikman, that retired because of concussions, and he's been an announcer for 20 years. Don't you think the cognitive ability will be gone if he kept getting knocked upside his fucking head and he couldn't play no more? It is up to him.
It depends. It depends, baby. It depends.
That's right. Everyone depends. It's different for concussions. Just because when he get hit, he start throwing up gang signs, does not mean that he's actually having long-term damage. It does not mean that. It just means that he may literally just be susceptible to having that type of injury when he gets hit. Tua needs to learn how to fucking slide, but that's a whole nother point. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You are little. Stop trying to act like you Superman. But in terms of, to both of y'all's opinions, it's up to him. It's up to the player. Let him decide. Let him go to what he's doing now. He's taking some time off, like Rita said. He's going to doctors to figure out what is this doing to his brain. He's doing the due diligence. If he finds, if they say like, look, man, you gonna keep getting concussions, bro. I don't know what to tell you. And yes, you could be up in there fucked up again. You could be fucked up again. But it's not gonna be something that probably gonna happen every game. He gonna probably play because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Rita, he can't come back to football. You can't take 2 years to come back in this shit, dog.
Yeah.
It ain't like
it's
that.
over.
That's a once in a trillion opportunity. Bro, who?
The dude that was he was Rastafarian. He was on the Dolphins.
He was a running back. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah. You talking about Ricky Williams?
Yeah, he was
pothead. First off, he was a pothead. Yeah, that's different.
He had cognitive issues, bro.
And then he came back like 5 years later because he needed money.
Yeah.
He had on baby mamas. He kept smoking blunts and tents. Like, nah, that's different. Yes, but he was still physically fine. This dude, if he leaves the game for that long, people going to think that he's damaged goods and ain't no team going to want to sign him because they're going to think about the implications of giving him a contract and him getting fucked up and they're going to have to pay it.
No, not if he can do it with the contract that he has now.
Yes, but that contract is going to be void if he disappears for 2 years. You know the game.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. He can't just leave for 2 years, go on a retirement. They're not going to pay him for 2 years.
Well, not 2 years. But he could take the rest of the year off and come back next year.
Yeah, if they wanted to, but they also going to draft another quarterback because what about he get hurt again? This league is quick. It's quick. It's what you done for me lately. If Patrick Mahomes tore his Achilles and then he tore his Achilles again, they're going to move on to another quarterback. They don't give a fuck. Thank you for the championships. Peace. You see what they did to Vic? They moved on from his ass. As soon as he got that case, they said, peace the fuck out. Even though he was up there killing himself on that field, they draft Matt Ryan's tall ass and moved on. That's what happens. Donovan McNabb. Peace.
So McNabb was whack anyway, though. Come on now.
Vic
That's not a good example.
His ass, but whatever. But anyway, only thing I have to say is that his choice. I hope he makes a wise one. It seems like he's getting his education. But Miami, y'all gonna have this is gonna be a rough year for the Miami Dolphins. Cause y'all don't got no backup. I don't know what the fuck y'all was thinking. Y'all got
hire Brady. Hire Tom Brady.
Look, Tom is a good announcer and everything, but why not? All right, y'all, let's get out of here. I really want to watch this Eagles versus Falcons game.
Yeah, me too. Damn, totally forgot.
I really want to say real fast, man. Before y'all jump off, before y'all hurry up and jump off, please support. Please look at this shirt, Thunder Lips. It is amazing. I love this shirt. I just got it. Please.
Oh my God. I need to get one.
Check the link in the description. You can go ahead and scan this QR code. It's on Etsy. It's safe. It's dope. It's banging. We have awesome shirts. I think we're almost at 70 sales. We have a top 5 rating. Really, really cool stuff out there. Check it out. Definitely go ahead and support us. And thank y'all again for rocking with us for another Monday. And what the F happened this week? Peace, everybody. Love. We'll see y'all next week.
Who that?